As a reminder, today's session is about mechanical engineering and mechatronics in Germany, study programs offered by the two universities mentioned here. As I already said, there will be a master's program and two bachelor's program presented. Who is behind this session is my German University, which is Germany's largest study program database. And here you can find all programs that are offered by German universities, both private and public. And you can narrow down your search because there are more than 24,000 programs in total, more than 4,000 programs in English. And of course, you narrow down by a subject and degree level, but also you have different criteria. You want to apply specifically with or without 𝘈𝘕. You are searching for programs with or without NC, and so on. All of that filters can be applied, combined, and sorted according to your desires. So we believe that the Study Finder will help you to find the suitable program in a short amount of time. Check out our articles. For today's webinar, relevant articles are about visa, I would say scholarship, because alongside to applying to program, you need to prepare for the visa procedure after successful application, of course. And there are frequently questions about scholarships, so those articles could be relevant, and feel free to check them out. We also have country-specific scholarship articles offered from DAAD. And of course, the webinars. As you already know them, as you're attending one of them right now, we have webinars where we try to connect you with the future program. These are the subject webinars, and luckily we have guest speakers from the universities presenting their programs. And we also have general webinars when it's, let's say, less interesting because it's only us from the team, and then the Q&A session about broader topics like 𝘈𝘕, visa, scholarship, and so on. This is our team. We are based in Hamburg, in Germany. Actually, some of my team members are right now also presenting in Hamburg, two universities already. So this is very exciting. Greetings to them. And on the last part of the slide, you can see also our founders. Now, I have used the Study Finder myself to narrow down the program in mechanical engineering and mechatronics. And as you can see, there are 137 degree programs. And you have much more filters to apply. If you scroll down below, you even have more filters, and you can always adjust, combine, and sort programs according to, for example, application deadline. If you just now decide to apply and you are searching for programs that still have application open, and one of the reasons may be that you are joining today's session. Then we have subject pages. They are very interactive, nice, and I like them a lot, as they provide overview of a subject, already shortlist programs for you, show some facts like ranges of tuition, duration of studies, location, some popular universities, and so on. And you can have all this information in one place. So when I was applying, it was not there, so otherwise I would have used it. Very important, and especially from the one who have also studied in Germany and was searching for programs, is this slide for me. I always advise to check each program separately. Don't assume, don't be guided by only, I don't know, names or rankings, because the content of a program is really important. All programs are very different, interesting in their own way, and maybe there is even a professor whose lectures you want to attend, and this is the reason why you apply to a certain program. So this also could be a case. Therefore, please check all programs carefully, and by carefully, this will also help you in case the program has a motivation letter requirement. Then they will see it from there that you really understand where you apply and that you really want to study in this program. So it will already increase probably your chances of being accepted. And that's why the reason why we have those webinars, to show you that all programs are really different and interesting, and you need to also understand this yourself. Now, we also have an article about universities in Germany. If you once again join us for the first time and you don't know why there are universities and universities of applied sciences, go ahead, check our article. But what I want to mention today is that usually programs offered by universities are research and theory-oriented. Universities of Applied Sciences have application and practice-oriented programs. But again, going back to my previous slide, all programs are different. Therefore, there could be exceptions on both sides. So check that as well. And one more information which could also potentially answer many questions that will come up today is that I have this and that background. Do I qualify? Can I apply? And so on. So for all programs, on the example of this mechanical engineering program, you always have qualification requirement section. And you can independently also check if you meet qualification requirement. For example, if you have a certain level of English. And this way you can already kind of assume if it's worth applying or not. Maybe you have previous degree in biology and then you are wondering if you can apply for mechanical engineering master's program. So if it's accepted, then it will be listed there. But of course, then you can always contact the program coordinators and double check also with them. All right, long story short, now the interesting part will start because I'd like to give the mic to Professor Dr. 𝘗𝘓𝘕𝘓𝘳𝘓𝘓𝘗𝘓, who will present Master in Advanced Engineering and Engineering Management from South Westphalia University of Applied Science.
So again, yeah, my name is 𝘗𝘓𝘓𝘓𝘓𝘓𝘓. I'm the Vice Dean of the Faculty of Electrical Engineering here at the South Westphalia University of Applied Sciences, Fachhochschule Südwestfalen. And I would like to show you our degree course, the Advanced Engineering and Engineering Management program. This is a program which looks back to a long history because we are doing this course under different names for more than 30 years. So basically, we have thousands of international students already passing through this course, and many of them actually also passing to the European job market. So I already introduced myself. Let me speak a little bit about our university. The South Westphalia University of Applied Sciences is a university which is located in the western part of Germany in the state of North Rhine-Westphalia. Actually, we are spread about 5 different campuses in Iserlohn, Hagen, Lüdenscheid, Meschede, and Soest. All of them are located in the South Westphalia region, so near the Rhine-Ruhr area. For example, we have big cities around us like Dortmund, Cologne, Münster, all these kind of cities. And I'm from the campus in Soest, which is basically our international campus, so to say. We have in total roughly 3,500 students on that campus. And from these 3,500 students, there is round about 1,000 students with an international background in different programs, basically. The university itself was founded in 2002, but it was not completely newly founded. It was basically built from different campuses of different universities. So therefore, for example, the campus in Soest has a history of more than 50 years. Yeah, the Faculty of Electrical Engineering, you might now be a little bit surprised because we're talking about mechanical engineering and mechatronics programs, why this is basically done by the Faculty of Electrical Engineering. There is a very simple reason for that, because in the beginning, we had this program, as I said, under different names, which was called Electronic Systems and Engineering Management. The idea was, I will speak about that a little bit later, is that we will actually, during this Master of Science program, to actually offer you the possibility to qualify yourself with an engineering background to leading positions in industry. And therefore, we would give you not just the engineering part, but we would also like to give you additional education within the business sector. And therefore, we actually came up with the idea, okay, this is also interesting for people with mechatronics background or with mechanical engineering background. And therefore, we are cooperating with our Faculty of Mechanical Engineering, which is on the same campus, basically. Our faculty has, as I said, roughly 70% of those students are bachelor and 30% master students. As I said, 1,100 international students, and at the moment we have 17 PhD students at the faculty, which is for the University of Applied Sciences quite a lot. We are quite strong in research, I would say. Yeah, speaking a little bit about our location, the city of Soest. The city of Soest is located roughly 30 minutes away from Dortmund. It's a city with approximately 50,000, 60,000 inhabitants, so quite small probably when you compare it to your hometown in your home country. It has a medieval city center and has a quite cozy atmosphere. And the typical feedback we get from the international students is that it's very cozy and it's very nice to go through the city. Of course, it's also a little bit quieter usually, but the good thing is that, if you want to study and if you want to live the quiet life, Soest is a very good place. But we have, as I said, around us, the 𝘱𝘠𝘪𝘥 area with a lot of, big cities just 30 minutes, 20 minutes away with the train connection. So therefore, there's also enough place for social life around us. Yeah, we are a campus university. Here you see an overview of our campus with the different faculty buildings and with the lecture halls, the different labs. We are University of Applied Sciences, and it was already explained that we have a big emphasis on the practical side of things. Of course, we will teach the theoretical concepts, but always linked basically to the applicational side of things. And therefore, we have also a strong connection to the local industry here. The region of South Westphalia is one of the strongest regions in terms of the economic numbers. We have a lot of those small and medium-sized companies, like hidden champions, how we call it. So companies which are in their specific niche world market leaders. We have companies, especially from the automotive industry here, but also power electronics. For example, the company Infineon nearby. We have a lot of companies for mechanical engineering in different fields. And the good thing is that all of them are looking for qualified people. So that is a good thing that we have this strong connection. And most of our, for example, teaching is also informed by the current discussions which are going on in this industry. Yeah, a short look inside of the buildings. We have a lot of labs, as I said. We have this campus atmosphere. This is a former campus of the Belgian Army, which was completely refurbished in 2002. So we have a quite nice atmosphere on the campus here, just some impressions in our lecture halls. And this is, for example, a very interesting building on the campus. As I said, it was a division of the Belgian Army. This was the former church, the Catholic Church of the Belgian Army. And now it is used as a high voltage lab, basically. So quite nice building, quite unique, I would say. Of course, the library services, even if I know that most students nowadays don't go to the library, they just use the ebook resources. So therefore, you will not see a lot of people there. Yeah, speaking about the course itself, as I said, we see, of course, now that there is a lot going on with basically transformations in the German and European and worldwide industry. For example, in the car industry, which is very important for Germany, we have a shift to e-mobility. We have a shift probably to autonomous driving, or at least partial autonomous driving, which is, of course, changing the way actually those companies develop their products. And you know that, for example, these kind of industries usually are driven by mainly, for example, mechanical engineers for their disciplines and electrical engineers or software engineers for their disciplines. But somehow with the e-mobility, with the autonomous driving, these disciplines get mixed up a little bit. And therefore, for us, it's very important that basically we try to educate well-educated engineers with a bachelor in, for example, mechatronics or mechanical engineering or also electronical engineering, that we actually think with in the system box and in the system view. So therefore, systems engineering is something very important in our course. And the same is true for the other transformations which are currently going on regarding the introduction of artificial intelligence. I'm just coming from a conference where I presented some application of artificial intelligence in a very classical industry like the bulk material handling industry, like cement, steel plants, and so on. So therefore, there's a lot of transformation in these kind of industries as well. Big data, industry 4.0. And the good thing is that basically those companies are looking for people who have a strong engineering background in a specific field, but are able to think outside the box a little bit and have also valid knowledge, for example, in things like AI, systems engineering, and of course also the economic side of things. Yeah, therefore, I'm always tend to say that basically, if you have a bachelor degree in any engineering discipline, usually you are trained in a way that you can actually work as a specialist in specific fields like, software development, hardware development, mechanical construction, work as a project engineer, work as an application engineer, as a support engineer, and you're trained to actually really focus on every single detail. However, if you want to actually grow into a leading position as a group leader or head of department or something like that, there are for us two things usually missing. And that is, on the one hand side, what we call the advanced engineering perspective, which means a little bit that you're able to actually think outside the box, think about your borders of your discipline, that you have classical background in systems engineering, for example, how to actually build complex systems with different disciplines involved, how you do requirements engineering, all these kind of things. And on the other hand, the engineering management side of things, how to manage complex project, how to actually deal with the business side of things and all these kind of stuffs. And that's why we came up with this course, which is basically 50% of the modules are technical modules, and the other 50% of the modules are more modules which are related to engineering management. So if you're looking for a course which provides the possibility for you to grow yourself in a leading position, maybe in a managerial position after your bachelor in engineering, this is the perfect course for you, basically. Okay, yeah, as I said, this is a very old course already. We have roughly 30 years now in different pathways. We offer this course in the pathway of electronic systems. So if you have an electrical background, that would be the pathway for you. Mechatronic systems for those who have knowledge from the mechatronic side of things, or mechanical systems. Nevertheless, you do not need to select your pathway right now. You can actually, during the first week, visit the different lectures from the different professors from the different pathways, and then you can select your pathway. The usual selection is, of course, that if you have a mechanical background, that you go to the mechanical systems pathway, but that is not a must. We have also more and more people, especially with mechanical background, which say, no, I don't want to go into the mechanical systems pathway. I want to go into the electronic systems pathway because I need to learn something new. I want to divert myself a little bit from the mechanical engineering side. So that is also absolutely possible. This is the 3-semester course, which means that basically you have 2 semesters of taught modules. In each semester, there are 4 different modules. So each module is quite huge in terms of the ECTS. It's an 8 or 7 credit module, usually. And when you start, the good thing is that those 2 semesters, you can start your course in winter or in summer. So we have 2 intakes per year for the summer semester or the winter semester, depending on when you would apply and when you would start your course. You would either start here or here, basically. And the last semester is the master colloquium and the project. And as you can see, the different pathways are more or less the same. There are just some modules which are changed. So for example, if you are in the electronic systems pathway, you would have a module which is called signal processing, which is, I think, self-explanatory. Or when you are in the mechatronics or in the mechanical systems pathway, you have advanced production engineering. So you see that there are only some modules different. So therefore, it's also not a big deal if you want to change your pathway afterwards. Okay, I think my time is almost already over, so I need to conclude a little bit. Just a short overview what to expect. I don't want to go into the details. We can do that if you have further questions. So for example, what you would expect in the different modules, just a short thing. You know, we have modules which are like technical publications and presentations, which are very important that you actually improve your presentation and writing abilities, reporting abilities, because this is very important for leading positions. We have a module which is called Business and Engineering, which is basically the base camp in business for all the engineers. Project management, I think I do not need to explain why this is important for engineers. We have the systems engineering. This is very specific and very important. More and more companies in Germany work with a strong emphasis on systems engineering, so that you know how to model systems, how to do the requirement engineering, the interface engineering, agile development, and so on. So that is a very important aspect. We have the intelligent systems module, which is basically a crash course in AI, practical usage of AI with the current libraries and so on. And you see that we have also the technical modules like signal processing, embedded systems, which is also more and more important for the mechatronic people, advanced production engineering, and so on and so on. Okay, that was very brief, our overview of the course. Very quickly, I would just highly motivate you if you have any kind of questions that you actually can contact us at any given time. I would love to see somebody in maybe our informational session we do also from our university, or you can write me an email at any given time. I will put my email address, or maybe it was already done. I put my email address into the chat. Please do not hesitate, and that is really something I would like to emphasize. Just write me an email at any given time or contact me on LinkedIn or something like that. That is absolutely no problem. I always love to hear from the international applicants. I'm doing this now for several years, and this is really, something which is very important for me, that you feel welcome and that you can ask your questions. I know for us it's clear, but you're sitting somewhere in a different country. You have a lot of questions, and of course, please ask all of them. Yeah, don't worry about that. And therefore, I would like to thank also for the opportunity to speak here. Yeah, thank you very much. And of course, I will be here for the Q&A session. So
our second part of the presentation, where we have Professor Dr. Ralf Stetter and Birgit Demuth presenting two bachelor's programs. And these are Mechanical Engineering, International Project Engineering, and Bachelor Engineering Mechatronics from Ravensburg-Weingarten University of Applied Science.
Hello from my side. I'm Birgit. I'm actually working in the international office, and I'm doing the career service. Both of it at the same time. And also my third part is that I care for startups. So if anybody's interested in this, I can also tell about that. Okay, we are Ravensburg-Weingarten. Be sure you never heard about that. Where is it situated? In the middle of at the south part of Germany, and I have a problem. Yes, no, with my slides. Okay, we're situated right in the south, so a totally different region that Mr. Aufderheide told us. We're situated near the borders of Switzerland and Austria, and of course, Italy is not far away, and also France. So we're, more the southern part, in the heart of Europe. Also, University of Applied Sciences, we care a lot about project-oriented, hands-on experience during learning, and team-oriented learning is also a very important thing. So we do have a lot of libraries. We have around 100 professors caring for 3,700 students. So that's quite a lot. You have like short distance to get into contact with our professors or with our staff. We're always there. We meet on campus, as we are also a campus university. And so, that's what makes the smaller universities smarter, maybe, or more sexy. Okay, this is our study programs. You can start by doing a takeoff, which is a preparatory semester. If you don't feel like just to go ahead, if you think you lack of any knowledge in, I don't know, maths, physics, or also German, then you could do this, a preparatory semester, and gives you also the possibility to gain up to 10 ECTS even before starting the studies. Then we have 4 of the bachelor programs, whereas we are going to tell about the mechatronic and the mechanical engineering ones later on with Ralf Stetter. And also you have the possibility to go on with the master in either of those bachelors. You can follow the master in electrical engineering or mechatronics. And we also do have the right to do a PhD right now at the University of Applied Sciences. So there's really no difference if you have a bachelor from big universities, smaller universities of applied sciences. The bachelor gives you the pathway to go on for a master in university or at our university or wherever, and even to go on with doctorates. And we have more and more of these doctorates, PhDs, even in international ones. Why do we consider ourselves small, smart, and safe? Well, that's what our international students say and what they appreciate about being in Ravensburg-Weingarten. Weingarten is a very, very small city. And the campus is very green and very, you could just walk around. It's short distances. You have the dormitories on it. And yeah, a lot of internationals, they say, I feel so safe and it's so clean and everything is so, yeah, it's like cozy feeling, and they love about this, and also this familiar way of interacting. If you have a problem, just as Mr. Aufderheide said before, in such small universities, you have the possibility to address professors and the people in the administration directly without any problem. There is no problem just going on and talk to them. The hands-on approach in, as I'd say, state-of-the-art laboratories. We do really have very modern equipped laboratories. We also, of course, have strong connections to the local industry. And we also do have a lot of lecturers from industry. And of course, at a University of Applied Sciences, all the professors have to have a real work experience. So it's not only research, it's that they have all of them, they have to. Otherwise, they cannot be a professor at our university or at universities of applied sciences. This is like some of the bigger brands you might know. Quite a lot of them are located in the south, especially the automotive sector. It's Baden-Württemberg. This is the name of the land where we are in, but it's next to Bavaria, as you can see. Munich is not far away. It's quite near, and a lot of students go and have their practical semester or find a job at Audi, Siemens, BMW, or in Baden-Württemberg, Bosch, of course, is a big brand. But also we do have in our region a lot of small and medium-sized companies, a lot of suppliers in these sectors. So Weingarten, yes, you never heard of. Now you have heard about it. It's small. It's a traditional one, but it's really nice. So you can meet people quite often when walking around, and quite near. So we have the double name, Ravensburg-Weingarten. Our campus is totally situated in Weingarten, but Ravensburg it's almost one town, and yeah, it's more like there's lots of bars and restaurants and people sitting outside, and there's a lot of cultural life going on. Yeah. So also, of course, the Lake Constance, the second biggest lake in Europe, influences our being, our studying, because usually people do a lot of sports, and you can do like sailing. We have our own sailing club with 3 boats running on the Lake Constance. Then Alps are really near, so you can go hiking, skiing. A lot of international students start doing skiing, and they simply love it. And there's a lot of opportunities. So why do we think, or what do we think makes us different? We have over 20% of our students are international students from all over the world. We try to have a strong student culture. There's a lot of offers from the student council and from the faculties and everything. So there's a lot of things to do. Sports a lot, because we have a second university in the same town, which is an educational one. So they have a big, huge sports center where you can do everything and start doing whatever you like. We also have cricket right now, or American football, which is quite crazy. Yeah. So the region is very important for us. It's easy to find a job, still easy. I just watched it up, and I had a talk yesterday with a guy from the local Chamber of Commerce, and saying, well, everybody's talking about the decrease in automotive sector, which is true, but it's like a shift. And I think that you have all heard about it. It's a shift, and we try to answer this by opening our programs towards more crossover faculty teaching. And that gives me a point to say thank you and hand over to Ralf Stetter.
Hard to share my screen. I hope you can see it. So as said, my name is Ralf Stetter. I'm international representative of the Department of Mechanical Engineering. I'm also the study head of one of the programs which I present, and I will be the study head main dean of the other one. So I will be in both. Maybe you're a bit surprised. Okay, there's one person describing 2 study programs. So, but if you're a bit surprised, also maybe I can explain you also a bit the differences and what are the advantages and maybe which one might be better for you, because both have their specific merit. And I think it's up to you to decide which direction you want to go. I will start with the first one. This is a mechanical engineering program. So it's a bachelor in mechanical engineering. It, however, has a certain emphasis, is about international project engineering. This certain emphasis was developed with companies, internationally operating companies, mainly in Asia. So I was there, also the top management of our school, and later on myself was, for example, in Malaysia, discussing with companies like Bosch, like B. Braun, internationally operating company, Osram. And I said, okay, if you want to have people in the international scope in mechanical engineering, what kind of profile would you like? So what would be the profile that they can have a good position in your company, that they can help your company to go further? And so that's how we developed this very specific program, but it's still a mechanical engineering program. So what is AIMET? So if you want to develop and improve mainly automation systems, and this in an international environment, if you want to have a well-founded German education in engineering, mechanical engineering, but also current knowledge concerning digital systems and technology. So you heard Professor 𝘱𝘱𝘕, he also was emphasizing how important new technologies are, how important digitalization is, how important artificial intelligence is. So this program can combine this. So we want to have a fusion of mechanical engineering, production engineering, and automation to make it with very things which are just very up to date right now. So what we want to convey is an interdisciplinary networking thinking and acting, which helps you to create innovative products, especially innovative automation systems, and that you're really involved in the projects that make automation systems in an international environment going. So some general information: period of study, it's 7 semesters and always including an internship. So you will have an internship in a company. If you're an international student, then you will probably do it in a German company. If German students join, they should choose an international company. The admission requirements is a higher education entrance qualification, and it can be tested by the Studienkolleg, but there might be some new developments which you can visit on our website in the next months. So there might also be an easier way, but we're talking about this. And you need an English certificate, for example, TOEFL or IELTS. So you need English language, but not German language. German language you will learn during this course, but there's no knowledge required in German at the beginning of the study program. The final degree is a Bachelor of Engineering, and the application will really start. The systems are open 1st of December and ends for the summer term 15th of January. So again, what is it? So it is a mechanical engineering production technology course. Production technology is something that Germany is really strong. For example, just in the state of Baden-Württemberg, there's more production technology being developed than just in the whole United States, so that you can compare this a bit. The special focus of this program is what's called Industry 4.0, so the digitalization of production, but also project management. So also, as Professor 𝘱𝘱𝘕 said, sometimes it's important that you know additional things. And if you are in an international context and you want to make a system that really works, then you need more knowledge. And so also you have project management knowledge. You know more about manufacturing and assembly processes and automation technology. The things which make mechanical engineering modern are also part of this program. Additional emphasis is basic business knowledge, because sometimes you have to understand a contract, you have to understand a return on investment calculation, because it's important for the risks that you take, for the decisions that you make. You want to be part of the important decision. Therefore, this program has a broader scope, has also a business content. So to sum up, what we really have is a frequently demanded job description, because we have developed it with international operating industry. And you have what's the main emphasis is factory planning and automation in an international context. Here you see the rough study plan, with most things in green are in English. Some will be in German, but we're doing this now for a while. And we know that in the 6th semester, the 3rd year, you are able to understand enough German that you can work in these courses. Also, the professors are very open to explain something a second time if you should have problems understanding. So there is some mathematics, obviously, there's some English. So you see some of the subjects, but there are also things, for example, advanced production technologies. That's very specific. Also digital production, Industry 4.0, Six Sigma quantitative methods, also systems engineering. So you see there a bit of broader scope, but a really solid mechanical engineering technical background, which is visible in these modules. So this was the first program, mechanical engineering. You get a certificate for mechanical engineering, but it's one specific emphasis, one variant, international project engineering. Some success stories out of mechanical engineering, so that you see what can you become. You heard also from Birgit that we now also offer doctorate. Kevin was able to achieve one. He did our Bachelor of Engineering here and also did the master program here. And then as a research assistant at our university, he did his PhD at the University of Stuttgart, development method for train gear systems. He is now a product development engineer in a city close by, Friedrichshafen. He does product development of electrical drive system for micromobility. So he started as Bachelor of Engineering in automotive engineering, which is very connected to mechanical engineering, and went up to a development engineer with a doctoral degree. Another success story is someone I was just talking an hour ago, because together we were grading a bachelor thesis that he's now also the advisor of. So he did also study automotive engineering, then master product development, and also with the other university that you heard about from Birgit, he did a second master. And right now is also, he just said today, okay, in a few months, I will also finish my doctoral thesis, and then he will defend this thesis, and then will also become doctor engineer from now, given from the University of Stuttgart, but now in future, we're also able to give it ourselves. And he's already working as an engineer, and he's developing oil pumps for automotive. So you see here also a lot of automotive things going on here in the south, and very good development possibilities for people who get a degree from our university. Okay, so that was the first one. Now I go to the second one. So first one, mechanical engineering production, a bit broader. And the other one, specific on the technology in mechatronics. So Bachelor Engineering Mechatronics, a rather new program. We started this summer, the next year will the second semester, and it was developed 3 persons together from 3 faculties. So that was me, design and development and automotive technology. Then there is Professor Samuel Vogel. He does digital technologies, electrical engineers, electronics, and also Professor Reich from electrical engineering. So we came together to found such a program. It's held by 3 faculties to give you every aspect of mechatronics to help you to make to get the knowledge and skills that you need to be successful in mechatronics. So what do you want to do? It's mainly for people that want to develop and improve mechatronic programs, products. So for example, sensors. So a very important kind of a mechatronic product is a sensor. We have a lot of sensor companies like EFM here close nearby, and you learn how to do this. You understand the physics in deep, but also you understand the electronics in deep. You know how an electronic filter works, but you also know there can be some mechanical parts. Always, if you have some movements, you need mechanical parts, but you also know how to work with them. So you have a well-founded German education in engineering, but you have current knowledge concerning mechatronic systems and technology. Also here, current knowledge is very important because such things like sensors, they are developing all the time. So a sensor now looks totally different than a sensor 10 years ago. The car still looks the same, but the sensors inside, they are totally different. The car don't look the same, but there are still some more similarities that in the real mechatronic technological things underneath the car. So here the essence is a fusion of computer science, because you need software, for example, for intelligent filters, but for intelligent data science, for integrating artificial intelligence. You need electrical engineering because there are always integrated circuits included. There are always things included that do data processing. But you also need mechanical engineering. As soon as something moves, you need mechanical engineering. Otherwise, you are not able to know the forces. You don't know how to design joints. So that's the combination you need. So also here, network thinking. That's always what also Professor Aufderheide said, and will also say, we don't want to have you thinking in a box. Today, you have to be thinking out of the box. You have to have a system understanding. You need to know more to be able to work successfully in industry, to make your own career as, for example, mechatronics engineer. Period of study also 7 semesters, also with an internship. The admission requirement similar, but there is online assessment possibilities if you cannot get, if you don't have a 13-degree school program. So there are details on the website, but there are further possibilities for you to be admitted to this university than just what's called ANABIN entrance qualifications. Your final degree with Bachelor of Engineering, and there the application is running earlier. It will open soon, and here you have to, the application will finish already 15th of November, because it's our own study program, and the other one is just a study variant. So therefore, there are 2 different dates. So please be advised to be careful about this. You should advantages the nearby dormitories, leisure activities, but Birgit already told you a lot about this, the closeness to Lake Constance, all of this, and you need some English proficiency. Here you see also an overview of the contents. You see some similarities, but you see here in violet a lot of these mechatronics courses. These are the courses that are looking in depth. So in depth, you learn how to design mechatronic systems, how to simulate mechatronic systems. There is general science like math and physics. There is mechanics like in the other program. There is computer science, also like in the other program, but a bit deeper. And there is more electronics than in the other program. But especially, and that's one specific advantage of our programs, is the strong mechatronics focus. So it's a real fusion. It's not just, you just take mechanics, and then you take electronics, and then you take software, but there are real courses where everything is combined, and it's not easy. That's not, but this gives you the chance to really learn this fusion and how this fusion is made. I myself, when I was working at Audi, we had to work on safety systems. And safety systems, you always have a combination of electronics, mechanics, and software. That's the only way to make it work. And as also Birgit said, you will be taught by professors who know exactly just how to do this combination. And this is your specific advantage, also specific at the University of Applied Sciences, because me and my colleagues, we really know how to do a mechatronic system, how to develop this, and we can tell you how to do this. I also have a success story here. Pratibha Rachel John, born in Delhi. She did mechanical engineering in India, and then she did a Master of Science Mechatronics study at our university, did her internship at BMW, as Birgit just said, Bavaria, was also working at Mercedes-Benz, then in Baden-Württemberg, in Sindelfingen, close to Stuttgart, and did master thesis at Bosch, also a large company. She master thesis was very good. I was one of the advisors together with Benedikt, that you also saw, Benedikt Reich, and she stayed there. And now she is testing software in the loop for new braking systems, so for improving the active safety of cars. Okay, so far, that's what we wanted to tell you. Birgit told you some of the specificalities of our university. I mean, small, smart, and safe, that you can study in a safe and relaxed environment. You have interesting study contents, which will give you the possibility to acquire a bachelor degree that will really help you to get a good position in an international operating company working on current problems and technology. So thank you very much for your attention. We all three will be here now for the FAQ, for the Q&A session, and I'm looking forward for your questions, and thanks a lot for your attention.
Thank you very much, Professor. Thank you very much, Birgit, for the presentation, all the details you provided. And also, Professor Aufderheide, I saw you answered many questions in Q&A. Thanks very much for that as well. Now let's start, and maybe if we have time, voice some of the answered questions and take the ones that are, will be answered live. The first question that is answered, Professor Aufderheide, by you, but I think you wanted to answer it live, or it was part of the presentation. I don't know. It's from Lucas, and it says, since half of the content is management focused, does that mean less time for specialized mechanical models, or is there still enough depth for someone who wants to remain technical?
Yeah, absolutely. I tried to answer this already in another question. So of course, the content is 50%, let's say, engineering content, 50% management content. However, when I look on our graduates, as I said, it's not the goal that all of the graduates go to pure management roles. But if you want to develop yourself in leading positions in an engineering role, also this business knowledge is very important. And therefore, we have roughly, I would say, 70% of our graduates do not go to managerial positions. They go to engineering positions, but of course, with the emphasis to become group leaders or system architectures or other positions in that role. And regarding the depths of the modules, yeah, for sure. As I said, we have basically big modules, and therefore the bigger modules are usually, as I said, we have 7 credit and 8 credit modules. The 8 credit modules are the engineering ones usually. So there is a little bit more emphasis on the engineering topics. And I also answered in a different question that, of course, this is a Master of Science program. And so therefore, many of our students get also involved with lab work beside their studies. Because we are quite research driven, I would say. We have a lot of funded research projects. So we have a lot of people who go very deeply also in the research side of things. And of course, mainly, the difference in what direction you want to develop yourself is during the master thesis and the master project. And that really defines, for what you want to qualify yourself.
Mm-hmm. Thank you so much. Next question is for the bachelor's programs. Does the prep course have extra charges? Should one apply to that? I think Birgit is still typing. I don't know, Professor, if you are aware.
Yeah, I'm here, but maybe Birgit can answer it in a bit more detail than me.
Which was the answer? Because I'm still
Yeah,
preparing for the other questions to answer.
Yeah, exactly. The question is about the prep course. Does it have extra charges, and do you need to apply for that, or it's kind of automatic?
You apply just as you do for a study program. It's also the same deadlines, and there are special scholarships from companies who can support some of our preparatory students. And and the fees are not, this is only reducted to the university fees, because you're not really immatriculated as a student, not yet. So
Thank you. About German language. As an international student, is it realistic to learn German well enough by the 6th semester to follow the lectures in German? I know, Professor, you touched upon this part in presentation, but maybe.
It definitely is. It is part of the study program, so you have to have German. And usually Wednesday is our German course day, blocked in every study program that is taught in English. For the bachelors, it's mandatory. So they definitely are able to communicate in Germany quite fluently, and it's surprising how easy they go on. And as a master's course, it would be different. It would not be mandatory, but and I do, as a career service woman, of course, I do really recommend to put an emphasis on German language if you want to stay in the country. There is no way around it. There are some international companies, of course, and working in English, of course, but you have to live in Germany and you have to get integrated. So no way around, but it's not a problem. I see most of those students by the end of the 5th semester, and they do their practical semester usually in German language. So yes, that's absolutely realistic.
Question for master's programs. Do students have to write their master thesis with a supervisor who teaches in that given university?
For our course, I can say that, of course, one of the examiners needs to be, of course, from the university where you're studying. But nevertheless, we have more and more students where the official supervisors and examiners for the master thesis are from our university. But sometimes we cooperate then with other universities, for example, that you can actually do your thesis there. For example, nearby here in our region is the University of Dortmund, University of Paderborn. Sometimes they are looking for international students, and we have a quite good exchange. But that shall not be the usual case, because in most cases, to be honest, people go to industry for the master projects. And then, of course, one of these supervisors is from our faculty. Yes.
Thank you. Question for bachelors. Good day, sir. Do bachelor's programs have age limitations? Also, I already have a bachelor's degree and I completed it 3 years ago. I was working during this time. Can I still apply?
Yes. No age restrictions.
One more question for you. One of the requirements is to have good skills of mathematics and computer science. I did not have computer science at my school. What should I do to compensate that and be eligible to apply?
I mean, in the application, it's not tested. It's more a recommendation. However, we start from 0, but it goes on rather quickly. So what I would recommend is to follow some computer science, some programming courses. For example, there are lots on YouTube. So YouTube, for example. So I would recommend to get a bit knowledge before, but there is no real hard requirements, because with the things, the language we are here is taught is Python, and here we start from 0. So no need to do something upfront.
Another question is, what are the admission process options for an undergraduate applicant from Nigeria? I think the process is the same for all. First, you need to check on the Anabin database if your high school is recognized in Germany, do you need to do a prep course or not? I put both links from DAD and from Anabin in chat. You can check it there, and if you get direct admission, then you can apply directly to bachelor's program. I think it's done online, and after the application deadline, you need hard copies signed, if I correctly know it.
Yes.
Yeah, and this was all. It is the same for everyone.
I think so too, because we have quite a few students from Nigeria. So
Yeah.
yeah. Another question is, okay, it was answered. How are partner companies chosen for the practical semester? Can I ask to be placed in the automotive sector?
yes, definitely. It's up to the students to choose their company for the practical semester. There are offers just like job offers, and we have a special, or every university has their own online job portal where you can watch up for practical semesters offers, and then you apply and you have a contract with them. So if you obviously want to go to automotive sector, yes, then you can just go ahead.
And there are a lot of companies we are working with, so this is definitely possible.
There was one question that Professor 𝘱𝘳𝘵𝘪𝘳 answered about the outsourcing battery production to China, and I really liked the answer. So yeah, we need you this not to happen again. This is actually convincing answer. I wanted just to mention it. And the last question is, Professor Ralf Stetter, please explain the online assessment for Bachelor in Mechatronics. Is that equivalent to test us?
Not really. It builds upon this. It will be a half-hour interview, and in this half-hour interview, there is some general questions, a few questions also about Germany. So if you show interest in Germany, and then we check the general mathematics and physics skills. If we think there are equivalent, that you're ready to start the university program.
Great, thank you so much. There was one last question, but I cannot see. It was definitely answered, but I cannot see from whom about dormitories. And I think it was, can everybody... okay, so maybe we could mention this for both programs about this housing situation, because especially for bachelor's and also for master's, how is it possible? I'm sure universities do have international offices, like one representative is already here, but the other university as well, and usually they advise you, but maybe you could also say a few words about it. Birgit, we could start with you, and then Professor 𝘱𝘳𝘳𝘪𝘳.
There's a certain contingent for the internationals, but that will not cover all of them. So we cannot guarantee to get a room in the dormitory, but the international office has special assistants here and colleagues who really care for it and try to find and try to help. And usually, maybe not at the beginning of the semester, everybody is served, but it's going on and on. So yeah, there's some couch surfing maybe in the beginning, but usually there will be found a solution for everybody. So yes or no, there is possibility, but we cannot guarantee for everybody. How is that in Südwestfalen?
Yeah, I think it's exactly the same. You know, we have one person in our faculty. She's responsible for actually helping you with finding an accommodation. There are not just a dormitory, but we have also a lot of contacts to private rent of rented flats, basically, and she tries to help. But of course, we cannot guarantee. By the way, it's one big advantage, and I think that is true for both of the university, that we are not one of the, you know, major big cities. So basically the accommodation market is a little bit easier probably than in the crowded areas. And I can say that for our region, we have basically combined the two advantages that Soest itself is not so crowded, but we have a lot of, major cities around where there's also a lot of accommodation. And I know, for example, that some of our international students, they want to live, for example, in Dortmund because they, want to have this more vibrant life, and they're coming 25 minutes with a train to the university in the morning. So that's also one advantage, I would say.
Good.